with the sudden influx in PS5 players, I'm sure that there's a lot of people looking for new builds, looking for, exposure to things they haven't seen yet. So, Smiker's Smite Blitz Smiker has never been seen as a true damage blitz ability, even though many of us want to believe it can ever compare to a Sailor Brain Burst on damage. It can't, at least not on its own. I also know a lot of people compare the Smite Psyker to the Emperor in Star Wars, but if you look at it, even his lightning wasn't that great. I mean, it didn't kill Luke, and I guess you could say that it did end up killing Vader, but you look at him without his helmet, and he definitely had pre-existing health conditions. I mean, the guy needed a respirator, and really could have been seen as a poxwalker, in my opinion. So Smite is an excellent utility on the Psyker's list of abilities, as it is very easy to spread lightning across hordes, hold enemies in place, everything except for monsters, while your team gets in and safely finishes them off. That being said, I did find a build on Games Lantern that assists Smite in doing some damage. The base damage of Smite is relatively low, and while it ticks often, it has a high time to kill even on Poxwalkers compared to pretty much everything else Psyker has to offer. Now, the build that I found on Games Lantern is based on Krukey's, I think that's how you say is their name, Azure Psyker build, which is linked in the description. It relies on aiding Smite with Soul Blaze and damage amplifying abilities, as opposed to building into other support talents like you would normally see in a Smite build. I would definitely suggest getting used to blocking ranged attacks and really relying on your dodges, as they do make use of the Demos 4 Blaze Force Sword with the extra damage to Carapace armored enemies and Maniacs perks, as well as the Uncanny Strike and Deflector for blessings. Playing this build, I really use the sword only to defend myself against ranged attacks and get myself out of close proximity situations. They did say that Uncanny Strike will help a lot with Crushers. You do need to build up the stacks on that to make it really max out its full potential. I found it easier just to shock the Crushers in place and then kind of light them up with my next weapon here, which is the Electrokinetic Force Staff with extra damage against Carapace armored enemies and unyielding enemies for perks, and Warp Flurry and Warp Nexus for blessings. I did swap Warp Flurry for Surge, just because the build has a high crit chance, and I like to rely more on the double primary shots for clearing ranged and armored enemies. So I did tweak the original build a little to try and fit my playstyle more, which I will put up right here. And Krukey did describe this build as relying heavily on Smite and venting Shriek. I pretty much maxed out the perks at the top to get the additional toughness regeneration from crits and peril quelling and generating, and added Enfeeble to Smite as the extra damage towards the Blitz it kind of made sense. You also rely on venting Shriek, Wildfire, and Perilous Combustion, and they should give you enough stacks of Soul Blaze to complement Smite's damage, which is even further increased by utilizing Empowered Psionics, Overpowering Souls, and Charged Up. You can just kind of max out, you get guaranteed Empowered Psionics stacks for elite kills, and then you can hold up to 3. Now, this is really good for groups of shotgunners or gunners or even ragers that are mixed in with the horde. That is, if your teammates don't kill them first, right? Because obviously everyone has pretty much higher damage output than you will with this build, so keep that in mind. You also kind of want Seer's Presence, as you want venting Shriek up a lot. You should also build into Creeping Flames on venting Shriek just to keep that momentum of Soul Blaze going. That will give you, if you get to 100% peril, that'll give you 6 stacks of Soul Blaze, which should be enough to kill a Poxwalker. So, there you go. And, all in all, it's a very fun build that does maximize Smite's damage output. Stopping hordes in their tracks, lighting them on fire, shocking them again. It clears things quickly, and you will notice that. But you will get bogged down even quicker if you get into poor situations or stray too far from your team, which, this is Darktide, so it's gonna happen. All in all, I don't really think Smite is the greatest damage-dealing tool in Psyker's arsenal, and while the build makes it much better, I'd still stick to a melee Psyker or Force-Staff Psyker with a Sail or Head Pop for, really putting out high damage. Let Smite and the Shield work together to make the true support Psyker build. Unfortunately, no matter what you do to Smite, it's just gonna be trumped by the other abilities that you have available to you, so it sucks because we all want to do really, we want to just get in there and fucking zap, zap, zap. Even the Electrokinetic Force Staff, that does more damage which it should, than Smite. So I mean, you know, something with that, you could even do this same exact build, swap out Smite for like the head pop or brain rupture, so you can get those random procs while you're zapping people, or even a sail, right? A sail might work even better with this build. Just take out Smite, switch it with a sail, move some stuff around a little bit. You could even get rid of the keystone, in my opinion, just because, you know, meh. But yeah, anyways, have fun out there, rejects. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Take care.